Hey there! Before we get to the actual episode, I realized after recording this thing you're about to watch that I forgot to mention some kind of important details regarding the podcast. It just didn't come up with the guys who have bought kegconnection.com, so I wanted to do this right now. First off, though, how about that clickbait artwork I did for the video version of this episode? If you're watching at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour, it's a terrible Photoshop, but basically the gist, guys, is if you're an audio only listener, which 95% of you are, it's me homeless with the sign that says, will podcast for food on it. So don't worry. No, I'm not out of a job yet. You'll learn more details about the Kegconnection website sale in this episode, but fear not, the podcast isn't going anywhere yet, or in the foreseeable future, but I always have to say that. I have to qualify everything. It's not going anywhere there, guys. Don't worry about it. They can't take me down that easy. They can. They're just not. They're not. But however, some things will change in the immediate future, which is why I'm adding this to the top of this episode, because again, I forgot to talk about it while recording. First off, with the sale of Kegconnection.com, that means Todd and James and I are focusing on growing CM Becker more than ever before. And so Todd and James are cutting back on their time on the podcast. They're still committing to doing 2 episodes with me every month. And then I'll be doing the other episodes each month with like a guest host or doing interviews or a style showcase, something. I am figuring it out in the process of scheduling all that out. But you can still expect weekly episodes every week. But Todd and James, like I said, are having their time. HALVING, having 50% less Todd and James. That's what you're expecting. Also, there's been some changes made to the Patreon Club tiers. If you're already a member there, then you've got that email about a week ago, maybe even 2 at this point. But if you're not a member, you can go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour, see the changes for yourself. So yeah, the TLDR version that I should have just led with. Todd and James are cutting back their time on the show, but you can still expect weekly episodes here on youtube.com/homebrew happy hour or whatever audio app the 99.2957884% of y'all use to consume this show. So don't fear. I think you're going to enjoy the new guys. They're in this episode. Give them some slack because they're sick and they're dealing with wildfires. We appreciate the little time that they had to give us. We're going to have them on again in the future. Be on the lookout for that because they're very knowledgeable in this thing. I've given up too much details already. Enjoy the episode, guys. Talk to y'all later. This episode is brought to you by Muntins Malts, a company that is passionate about providing premium malts to brewers worldwide. For over a century, Muntins has been a leading supplier of brewing and distilling malts, offering the finest British malted barley on the market. You can experience the difference Muntins offers by joining a recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club, because every kit that ships out now includes premium Muntins malt. You know, we've known the Muntins crew for a long time, and I can tell you, friend, you're going to love brewing with their grains. Ask your local supply shop to carry Muntins malts, or homebrewers can join our Trub Club at homebrewhappyhour.com/club. Be a part of the community and come brew with us. Thank you, Muntins, for supporting our efforts and homebrewers worldwide. Today's show is brought to you by hopsdirect.com. Grown in the esteemed Yakima Valley on the Pewterball family farm, hopsdirect.com offers the widest variety of hops available online at incredibly competitive pricing. It's simple. They grow hops, they sell hops, and they ship hops straight from their family-owned farm to your doorstep. Producing the highest quality hops is hopsdirect.com's passion, and they're proud to be an independent grower in the craft beer industry. Go to hopsdirect.com right now and get what you need to make your brew day better. That's hopsdirect.com. Today's show is brought to you by Imperial Yeast. You hear us gushing over Imperial Yeast all the time, and that's because their yeast performs for us in every batch that we brew. Imperial Yeast is adored by commercial breweries and home brewers alike. Their pitch-right pouches are jam-packed with over 200 billion fresh yeast cells, guaranteed to deliver flawless, fast fermentations every time. Imperial yeast strains are grown by a team of pro brewers and home brewers who live to help other brewers learn more and ferment better. Join any recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club and get a free upgrade to premium Imperial yeast with every recipe kit that ships out to you. Learn more at homebrewhappyhour.com/club and come brew with us.
Entertaining shows with content that spreads information and sparks discourse throughout the community. This is the Pearl Media Network.
The future of Kegconnection.com. This is Homebrew Happy Hour, episode 416. It's always something. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. This is the show where we supply the answers to your homebrewing questions and discuss all things related to craft beer. And if you, my friend, have a question you'd like to discuss on a future episode, you could email joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com. You could text our hotline, but even better, call it in and leave a voicemail to 325-305-6107. When I use your voicemail on a future episode, you'll get yourself a gift card to Kegconnection.com, which we're here to talk about. I'm one of your hosts, Joshua Stubing, joined as always by the the chief keg washer. James isn't here. He's the chief keg washer of Keg Connection, Mr. Todd Burns. And we've also got very special guests, our friends Brendan and Carrie Hansen, with us here from California on their phones. We appreciate you joining, guys. Let me get the music dying. Todd hates the music, so I normally play it louder.
No, I don't. I love it.
You always tell me though to kill it quick. One time I let it go almost the full song. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not what this show is." I was like, I'm just trying to get the most out of our license for that song. Anyways, gentlemen, Brendan and Carrie, we appreciate your time. This is going to kill people. Well, first off, I love that the news of Kegconnection.com went out. An amateur blogger put some information out there, and that was a unnecessary low blow. He's a nice guy. But no, news got out there. People have been hitting us up and, what's going on, this and that. So we're happy to have y'all to talk about it. But listeners who are here just for that information are going to be mad at me because I have some housekeeping. Let me get through that. It'll be record time. Todd, start your timer. You gave me 2 minutes to get through this. Ready and go. Friends, go over to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Join a recipe receiving tier of the Trub Club and get this delicious Kolsch sent out to you. I wish I could drag this out for 10 minutes so I can tell y'all why I love Kolsch, why you're going to love Kolsch. It's the best recipe kit ever. Just believe me or listen to next week's episode and I'll drag it out long because Todd won't be on the show to shut me up. Patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Thank you to our sponsors, Munton's Malt, Hopsterette.com, and of course, Imperial Yeast for always providing premium ingredients for us, which also brings me up January 24th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Central. Join us at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour for this month's episode of Brew Day Live. My pop and I will be brewing that Kolsch, and we're going to do a 10-gallon batch with 5, maybe going to Todd, but for sure I'm saving 5 for November for my 40th birthday party extravaganza. I mean, right now it's just me. So, but I'll invite people, maybe not, but I'll have 5 gallons.
Should do.
Yeah, 5 gallons. I believe cold conditioning that Kolsch for 8 to 9, 10 months or whatever is going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be the best present for my 40th. But anyways, Todd, what's the timer at? I think I got it right on the dot.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. And remember, you don't have to give me 5 gallons. Only if you want to pay for your own grain, you can. and yeast and everything else, then you can keep all the beer.
Yeah, absolutely. There's minor details that are in the what keeps me brewing clause. I have to give offering first to Todd. Anyways, that's all the small talk I had to go through. And usual listeners of the show are going to be even more shocked when I admit this. I'm not doing most of the talking today. I'm letting Todd steer the ship because he didn't want me. Like, y'all's time is valuable, Brendan and Carrie, and I have a propensity to digress and take us down various rabbit holes. So I'm just shutting up.
Did you do a full introduction?
Well, I said Brendan and Carrie Hansen. I left it at that so that you could steer it from there because this is not the first time. This is the first time y'all been on the show. This is my fault probably for never inviting you. First
Oh,
time.
I thought y'all had been on once before. Okay, yeah.
Never have.
Wow.
I would love to. I'm bad at inviting people, to be honest. It's really my fault. But we've never had you on the show. But people might know y'all. They might recognize the name, not just from y'all's retail efforts, but y'all had y'all's own podcast called Drips and Drafts. And it was more or less about cold brew stuff. And I mean, it was on the draft side of everything, but y'all did a lot of stuff with coffee. Right.
Yeah, it was heavily geared toward coffee. We found ourselves heavily down the coffee rabbit hole, and we were getting calls and questions every day. So yeah, I think it was just one day I decided, I'm going to start a podcast because I'm sick of answering the same question 5 times a day. I'm going to put it on a podcast and just refer people to that. And yeah, one thing turned into another, and we ended up doing that podcast for 2 years. And yeah, it was a fun time.
Podcast is fun.
I really like the video of when y'all used helium instead of nitrogen. Maybe we could have a link to that.
I'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll send you that. We can definitely get that link.
Believe it or not, we still get customers, mostly from overseas, that will email us asking how they can set that up.
Serious inquiries, yes.
It's amazing.
That's
that was a great video. I enjoyed that. So what we're here to talk about today is kegconnection.com. I started kegconnection.com in 2006. So we've been around 18 years now?
Almost 19. Almost 19.
Almost 19 years. So that's pretty incredible. So Brendan and Carrie have other websites, and we have worked with them now for about 15 or 16 years. What do y'all recollect on that?
Yeah, I think I was brewing my first batch of beer in, it was probably 2009, maybe 2010. And yeah, I stopped by our local brewery, and he gave me a corny keg, and he said, go online and buy some equipment so you can serve your beer on draft. You don't want to have to bottle it. Put it in a keg.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think I bought it from your eBay store, and then yeah, it wasn't long after that I looked at Carrie. We were selling hops and malt and all the ingredients online at the time, and just having a hard time keeping everything fresh and shipping it across the country. So I said, why don't we get into hard goods? And yeah, we reached out to you guys, and Todd, you were more than willing to work with us, and yeah, we've had a great relationship ever since.
Yeah, it has been great. And so when we decided to get out of kegconnection.com, the website, the URL, because when I really looked at it, I realized that I was spending a lot of my time on it, but it wasn't quite the volume that it needed to be to be able to do what we needed to do. And we're very good at fulfilling orders, at coming up with the new products, but we haven't done a great job like on Google ads and some of the other advertising. We just haven't been able to do that in a way that we could promote it and still make money. And what Carrie and Brendan have been so good at over the years, because I've been a little bit jealous of it at times, is that they show up at the top. Kegoutlet.com is one of their sites. And tell me, you've got multiple sites, Keg Outlet, and then what are some of your other ones?
We originally started Brew PS, which was all the homebrew ingredients. That one's kind of we've let that kind of just fizzle out. We've got another small one called Draft Supply, and then
Draft Supply, yeah.
Cold Brew Avenue, which is more geared toward coffee.
I say Cold Brew Avenue that was the other major one I knew y'all from and over the years, because Cold Brew, I live in a college town right outside of Austin, and Cold Brew coffee is just immensely popular.
Yeah,
it's grown a lot. We launched that site because we started manufacturing our own cold brew coffee system. So that's kind of our separate site for those systems.
Yeah, it's a cool thing that y'all been doing. Like Todd said, I can't believe it's been 15 years. When Todd was telling me, like, do you remember? I go, I do, because the first employee, I was the second employee to Todd. And the first one was who reached out to y'all about getting you set up with wholesale and stuff, BJ. He doesn't watch the show, but shout out BJ. But then, so when he was gone, I was like, man, no way Brendan and Carrie have been with you that long. Cause I've been with Todd for almost 17 years. Time flies. But anyways, that's all my quips. Todd, go ahead. Take it back over.
No, that's fine. I think the important thing is, why are we doing this? I think a lot of people would question that. And it really is because I want to focus more on the wholesale business that we do with CM Becker and other business that we do through Kegconnection, like cleaning kits, that sort of thing. And we want to be able to do the fulfillment because we are good at the fulfillment. We're good at building kits and designing kits. And they are really good at running a website. So that's kind of the partnership and the reason that we've changed that over. But I want to assure everybody that Kegconnection is we're still filling the orders here at the same location that we were before. You still expect great customer service. I mean, we've built this up over years and years, and we truly appreciate all the support we've had over the years, but we're not going anywhere. We're still here and we're still going to be involved. In fact, we have all the kegs here, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I could still continue to possibly be the chief keg washer, I think.
Can we still call him that? We all allow that?
Yeah. I mean, if one of y'all wants to take over as this head keg washer, I guess I could let that go, but
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got all the experience.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's
and
true.
let me add another thing real quick, Todd. I'm talking more than I promised you I would. My favorite thing about the kind of leak that happened, and I don't know if y'all use Reddit a lot. It's a love-hate relationship I have with the internet. Reddit can be a cesspool, but it's also good people. There's this Venn diagram that exists, and I'm on it. The kind of leak that happened, people were immediately speculating, oh, another one bites the dust to conglomerate, Northern, this or that. Yep. Where I was telling Todd, what I want people to get out of this podcast interview and when they learn the details about all of this is that this is a win for the mom and pop side of the industry, which is dwindling. A ton of local homebrew supply shops are dying every month. We're seeing it either because we get the mailers, sent out to us, or we see it on the internet or whatever. Brick and mortars, unfortunately, that are owned by mom and pops are dying or they're getting bought up. And
we just lost our local homebrew shop within the past year. And unfortunately, we used them every time we were brewing. We were running over there to get something that we forgot.
And y'all are in the mecca of brewing in the United States. Y'all are in California. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's
Southern
wild.
California, yeah.
More beer, I heard, is they moved their main stuff into Kansas. I mean, it is to, I guess, just be delicate. It's a rough time for home brewing, and so I wanted to make sure people were reassured that if anything, this is just like it's a good combining of knowledge and experience as mom and pop shop owners to offer that customer service, like Todd was saying, that mom and pops are more known for. When they call, they talk to real people, they get answers from the help-in bots and all that kind of stuff. It's not this robotic experience that they're having, or God forbid, outsourcing it, for like overseas and whatnot. But we just that's what I want to make sure people understood, is that this isn't some Todd. People asked me because when the leak went out, they go, are you looking for a job? So I was going to make the cover art for this episode, me holding a resume or something, like something clickbait for YouTube, like my hand on my head, like, oh, what am I going to do? But no, the reality is Todd stuck with me. I wasn't part of the deal, he told me, unfortunately. So y'all don't get me. I'm stuck with Todd, or Todd stuck with me.
I mean, do y'all want him? Or?
No, don't put them on the spot.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. We'll talk about that.
Guys, I'm cheap. I'll just put that out there. I'm cheap. I'm easy. But anyways, Todd.
No, but anyway, I think it's an exciting thing. Y'all do bring a lot of knowledge that we don't have, and we appreciate that, especially on the nitrogenated coffees, but also beer. Y'all have had a lot of experience with that as well, and we have not done a lot of that, so you definitely bring a lot of experience there as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good joining of forces. Rather than, I like the way that you presented the offer to us to basically take over the front end of the site, and you guys continue working on the back and fulfilling orders. I think it's a win-win, both in terms of both of our companies as well as all the customers, all the Kegconnection customers.
Yeah, and the customer service aspect as well. We've already sent over inquiries to you guys about specific CM Becker products that we're not as well versed in. So I think the customers are going to get both your guys' resources and ours moving forward.
Yeah, it's only a good thing.
I think so. Yeah, I think Josh is still available to give your cell phone number out again, Josh.
How dare you? I won't be so pretentious that y'all would ever listen to the show. It's a very super niche. But Todd openly gives his cell phone out. And then he's giving mine out. And that's the only time I edit the show is when he gives mine out. I then he's putting more work on my plate. I got to go back now. I got to edit that out. And
what's the nationwide company is it America's Tire that president gives out his cell phone?
Yes.
Right. Oh, is that right?
That's great. So, yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. That is wild to me. I'm surprised Todd hasn't gotten inappropriate photos yet. And he gives it out. Yeah, that's our core audience is middle-aged men who are probably sending inappropriate photos to people. So that's actually an Apple. That's how I tag it. Yeah, for the podcast. I just haven't
shared them with you, Josh.
That's right. No, but Todd, I don't have a lot more to offer except that so Brendan, you guys, first off, they're on their phones. It has been hectic for them since the new year. For everybody involved in this, it's been crazy. But y'all have got fires on either side of y'all. Y'all been sick. Y'all been having to deal with things. So we hopefully in the future, I won't hold you to it in the immediate future, we get you on because I had questions for cold brew coffee and serving it and specific things for y'all's knowledge base. We'd love to have you back on in the future to get you to help us answer some of those questions.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Maybe we'll come out to the studio, the Texas studio.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we need to do that anyway. Now that we've done all of this, we need to have you back to the ranch, and we'll do a round table discussion. That's literally we have a round table we sit around. So
literally,
perfect.
All right. Well, I know that y'all are very busy, and probably I think you're running from a fire right now, Brendan. That's why you're in your truck, right?
Yes, yeah. Thankfully not. You guys see Toto blow by the window while we were recording?
Yeah, it's pretty. I saw the palm tree earlier when you first got on. I'm like, that's nice.
It was the palm tree that was going like this.
Yeah, going like that.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no. All right. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, be careful, and we'll talk again soon. And we definitely want you on the show more.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. And that will do it for this episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. If you have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com and use that submit a question link at the top of the page. But even better, call it in, leave a voicemail to 325-305-6107. Thank you to our show sponsors like Muntons Malt, premium grains for a better brew day. If you aren't already brewing with Muntons, you can give them a try by joining the Trub Club at a recipe receiving level. For the best hops available online, give our friends at hopsdirect.com a visit and pick up what you need for your next brew day. Also, get a pack of premium liquid imperial yeast along with delicious recipes from us, again, when you join the Trub Club. So go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour and come brew with us. On behalf of Todd Burns, the absent James Carlson, and the Pearl Media Network, I'm Joshua Stubing. Thanks for listening.